Hello, my beautiful Earth Angels. My name is Joanna. Welcome to Team Joanna. If you are new, welcome, and I do hope you stay here. If you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I also call myself Joanna the Healer. Used to call myself Joanna the Medium. So for those of you who've been following for a while, you will notice that I'm transitioning into that right now. And there's a few things that I want to say with regards to you being an Earth Angel. And I'm being asked to specifically say this to you, whoever you are. I receive not very few comments from some of you saying that you do not see yourself as an Earth Angel and you do not understand why people keep saying that to you. So what I would like to encourage you to do, and as I'm saying it, I'm getting it in my throat. Ask yourself the question, what is it about being an Earth Angel that is difficult for you to accept? Is it because your idea of an angel is something that's scary? Is it because you feel you are not worthy? Is it because you couldn't possibly be compared to an angel? Ask yourself these questions. If it is you, and as a matter of fact, if I have said you are a healer and you heard that and you just went, I don't understand what she's talking about. If you were not meant to hear it, it wouldn't come to your consciousness. So if me saying to you, you're an Earth Angel or a healer is bringing up some funny feelings within you or a lot of doubt, ask yourself the question, why? Why do I feel this way when I hear someone saying to me that I am a healer or that I am an Earth Angel? Because I am going to tell you and burst your bubble that whether you like it or not, you are. Otherwise, you would not be listening to this channel. You would not be listening to this information. You would not be connected to this frequency, to this vibration. There's a reason why you are having this reaction. For those of you who are gladly accepting me saying to you that you are a healer, whether you choose to express it or not, that's another thing altogether. That's a whole different subject. But if you are, yes, I am part of this journey and I am a healer, and yes, I love being called an Earth Angel, congratulations, you have just claimed who you really are. And as I looked in the camera, there was something that went up. It was right here, somewhere right here. And I'm gonna have to go back and see what it is, but I've never noticed it on my video live. What this is saying to me is that there is a lot of angelic presence with me here, but also with you. And whatever you are experiencing right now, please know that you are supported and that you are protected. I am doing this video very much impromptu. Paul, my new friend, who is the bridge between me and higher consciousness, basically is throwing a whole bunch of awarenesses into my consciousness, and I'm just exploding with new ideas. So it was very very obvious to me, thank you, that I had to get this out. And the reason why I'm saying this to you is because in times like these, when there are many things happening that are creating distractions, creating, I want to say fear. Let's just put it this way. What's happening in the world right now, every single person will be affected in one shape, form, or another. And it doesn't mean that each person will be affected adversely, but it does mean that each person will effectively go through some sort of a change. This time is forcing us to see ourselves beyond our own boundaries. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is right now, our old structures are being uprooted. I'll give you a personal example. I go to the gym 5-6 times a week, sometimes 7, depending on how many things I have on my head, because it helps me stay in shape, it helps me stay healthy, it helps me stay grounded, it helps me achieve a certain level of equilibrium in my physical, mental, and spiritual body. And like most of you, probably in Northern America, probably in other countries as well, my gym now is closed for 2 weeks, and that really had an effect on me, because it's something that I rely on every day and have for the last 20 years to keep me stay consistently at a certain balance. And right now, that way of achieving balance is taken away from me. And for a Taurus, apparently for a Taurus especially, that's not very comfortable. Let's face it, it's not comfortable for anybody when our old structures are being dismantled, or we're being basically faced with the fact that the way we used to do things, we can do no longer. So something interesting is happening, and I'm sharing this with you because I hope it's also happening with you, and I feel it's happening with many of you, even though we're going through these very difficult and very interesting times, to say the least. Now I understand what it means when people used to say these are times like never before, and this is absolutely a very special time to be alive. Now I understand what it means, and I understand it firsthand on many levels. Point being here is, even though that all this is happening, and of course there are people who are being stricken by this virus, I'm not going to give it a name, and in some pretty bad, unfortunate ways. Some lives are being lost, and I am being tapped on the shoulder and I'm being reminded, do not feel sorry for these people, for they have, as souls, chosen to be part of this journey in this particular way. It's almost as if these souls who are parting this earth have chosen to absorb, so to speak, the shock of that virus, if you will. And that's actually really interesting. And I do not mean any disrespect to those who have been affected by someone who has lost their life. And hopefully no one from this point forward will lose a life because of this. I do not mean disrespect on any level, but it's very interesting. Now, they're taking me to a bigger vision. They're taking me to, they're reminding me that what I am seeing is the bigger picture. It is not what the ego sees. It is not what the conscious aspect of us sees every single day. So, because we have a tendency to focus on the bad things that are happening, unfortunately, that's a human condition, and that's how much power fear has. And we are here to essentially transcend fear. So it is not to minimize the effect this is having on people by any stretch of the imagination. Not even going to go in saying that, because I think you guys know that. It's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that at the same time as this is happening, new birth is taking place at the same time, which means when something old dies, and I'm not referring to people as old, when something old dies, when old energy dies, when old conditioning, old systems, old structures crumble down and die, it is just nature of the universe that something new has to come to replace it. So this is globally affecting every single individual to one extent or another. And this is an opportunity to ask ourselves, who do I choose to be going forward? And however this is affecting you, it is affecting me personally in the way I structure my health, how I stay healthy. And in comparison to what other people have to deal with, it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm just giving it an example because to me, it is important. And I have to find new ways to achieve my goal, but in a different way. And many of you are in the same situation where you are needing to choose to do things differently and no longer rely on what has been. So if you think about it from a greater perspective, this is an incredible opportunity to start something new. And oftentimes we need to be pushed into starting something that otherwise we would be too fearful to implement. And what this is creating, what this situation is creating, it's creating an opportunity for all of us to look deep inside, ask ourselves questions. What is my structure? What are my structures? What is it that I rely on? What is it that I am attached to? And now that those attachments are either not there or they're being somehow changed, shifted, and transformed, what does that mean to me going forward? And this is an incredible opportunity to allow ourselves to start something new. I personally feel, and I have this has been given to me, this information has been given to me, that this ultimately will change the way we value physical things, stuff, money, and it will increase the value of human life, not just human life, life in general. But I saw this equilibrium kind of rebalancing taking place. And economy is a set of structures, and that is impossible for it not to be affected. So I'm just going to put it out there and say that the way we literally look at life in terms of what we believe is important and what isn't, personally and globally, is shifting, and it's shifting quite rapidly. And because it's shifting anyways, in other words, what has been is no longer, and something is new, something new is coming. This is time like no other to ask ourselves these questions. Who am I? And what do I choose to do going forward? So if you are having a trouble with accepting the fact that you're a healer, ask yourself the question, why? What is it inside you that says that's not possible? Is it because you somehow feel you're not worthy? Because if that's the case, that's the old structure that's on the way out. And unless you become conscious of it and allow that structure to go, you will always be attached into something that ultimately is preventing you from being the best that you can be. So, look at your life and see what means what to you. And ask yourself the question, why does this mean this to me? And what if that meant something different? Or what if I put meaning into something new? Attachment is a big thing. We are essentially attached to pretty much everything. It's just nature of being a human. It's nature of having an ego. And attachment isn't a bad thing. Attachment is what helps us have structure. We thrive on structure. As you can see, our structure is now being uprooted, and that does not feel very comfortable, which brings about tremendous level of fear. But I want to say these words, fear not. And again, I'm not minimizing what's going on. Please do not misunderstand me. Nor am I going to blame this or that has made this happen, nor am I going to be ignorant to what is happening. However it started, and it is making things a certain way, my aim as Joanna is to see the opportunity in it. And death and birth is a natural process of being alive in a human body, at least the way we know it. And again, that is not that because I condone death. When I say death, I mean transformation. There is no question probably in anyone's mind that we are being transformed. We are being transformed in particularly the way we see ourselves, and how we see ourselves is reflected in our world. So, if you have difficulty accepting the fact that you are an earth angel, ask yourself the question, why? Why is it so difficult for me to accept that? Number one. Number two, what does angel mean to you? To me, angel means something bigger than what I can see or perceive with my humanness, and some being, some energy, some frequency that is vaster than what I can consciously comprehend, and in a positive way. That is what I think of. That is my connection to an angel. Do I believe that there are some beings that have real wings and that fly? I believe that that is our human depiction of it, because that's the way it has been visually presented. I do not believe these beings need wings, because they don't have to fly. All they have to do is they put their focus to where they need to go, and that's where they are instantaneously. So, but if you believe they have angels, nothing wrong with that. So, if you have difficulty accepting that you are a bigger being than what you can see or what you can unconsciously understand of yourself, then that is your attachment to what you believe is you in terms of ego, because you are more than that. Every single one of us, including you, is a healer. Every single one of us, if you are listening to this, has come here to go through this process. And every single one of you listening has the ability to offer a helping hand to another in a way that is healing, irrespective of how it happens. And I feel our ability to help others heal can really be put into use, especially right now. A word of encouragement, helping someone by helping them, by lending a helping hand, becoming more community oriented, becoming more selfless. Let's face it, the ego is very much about the I. There's nothing wrong with that, but we are here to transcend that. We are here to be the ego self while knowing and being conscious of the fact that we are beyond our ego. And from my own experience, and I am pretty sure many of you are experiencing this as well, as this thing is unfolding with this virus, my ability to perceive higher consciousness is literally going through the roof. It is so amplified that I've never felt this much expansion and awareness in such a short period of time. As a matter of fact, before I sat down to record this video, I went for a walk and I had a long conversation with Paul, and before I turned on the camera, I was so aware of all these beings around me that I began to cry, because I myself, as many of you know it, experience doubt. It is part of my human conditioning. But the feeling, the palatability of the feeling that I have, them standing next to me, it's pretty difficult to deny. And your ego is going to play pretty nasty tricks on you right now. It's going to tell you you're going crazy. It's going to tell you you have lost your mind. It's going to tell you that everything is going down to Shitsville and some Armageddon is coming. No, the only death, aside from unfortunately few people who are struck by this, who have, by the way, chosen to be part of this journey in this specific way, the only death that's happening is death to how we see ourselves and therefore how we live our life. So another word for death is transformation. So our transformation right now is amplified. It is revved up. And what I would like to encourage each and every one of you is to know that at the end of the day, you chose to be here. There is a reason why you are experiencing this. There is a reason why you are watching this. In a big way, partly is because you are an earth angel, which means you are here to help heal Mother Earth. Let that sink into you. You are an earth angel and you are here to help heal Mother Earth. I won't go into the details as to how this has affected, in a positive way, Mother Gaia, just the last few days of us globally not using as much transportation. It is mind-boggling the positive effect it is having on Mother Earth. And I've been made aware of so many times on so many levels how we take advantage of Mother Gaia. We are like take, and we don't give as much respect to her. And now she's in a process of clearing. And essentially, I think I'm going to leave it at that before I get too far away on a different track. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to comment, please, you know I love reading your comments and I heart every single one. Unless I miss it, if I do miss it, please, I'm not singling you out. Even if you make a comment that somebody would not like, and I rarely get those, I will heart you too, because you're giving me your energy. And you know what? You chose to stick around, and if you're giving me your energy, then there is something you are invested in this. Otherwise, you wouldn't bother to comment. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I have been asked to offer more healing sessions. They have gone through the roof. I've only offered it once a week, and I'm being asked to offer a lot more healing sessions. So what I'm going to do, at least for the time being, I'm going to offer more healing sessions. If you are interested in having one, and according to the feedback, it's very powerful. If you are interested in having one, and this is, I feel more than any other time, this is a most appropriate time to actually get a healing, energy healing. I will put the link down below for you to connect with me or to book your session. With that said, I love each and every single one of you, my earth angels. Please remember who you are, and please always know that you are important. And please know that every single one of you and me contributes to where we are here in this earth. I'm not blaming anybody, but every single one of us is contributing. So let's start with realizing what our beliefs are, what our attachments are, what do we depend on, and if any of these aspects of our lives are a little bit askewed. Because if they are, there's an opportunity to do things differently and long-term benefit from it big time. So with that said, thank you so much for giving me your time and your energy, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.